Lately, Shiba Inu have been burning. The price continues going up, it seems. They're having a party. Signals from analysts are dropping. The whole Shiba Inu society seems to have been surprised by the US government. Nearly 41 trillion Shiba Inu are in motion. Will this be the beginning of the bull run we've been hoping for? Is this anything else, though? Alright, let me clarify. Welcome to Dr. Crypto, your daily serving of Shiba. This is the spot for you if you're curious about anything related to Shiba. If you want to keep informed about all the latest news forecasts and stay ahead of the crypto industry, subscribe. To get more Shib news, be sure to click the like button. Please note that by the time you see this video, some rates may have changed. Financial advice is not included in this video. Well, the price eventually made the decision to take off after what seemed like an endless series of ups and downs. It shot up about 8%, wiping up the losses from the previous week. Now, 8% may not seem like much to you when you look at that figure. Believe me, it's a huge problem, particularly in light of how unstable things have been recently. What a wild ride the last few days have been. Shiba Inu seemed to be holding firm 1 minute, then plunging violently the next, sending many into a panic. Because of the extreme volatility, it seemed as if no one could predict what would happen next. Was it going to fall further? Would there be yet another unexpected change? In the market, you could sense the worry and the uncertainty that pervaded everything. However, this week is unique. The mood has entirely changed. At long last, things have begun to level off. Instead of another nerve-wracking dive, we had a wonderful, firm push-up. Not only a little bounce, either. In fact, this one seems to have some weight to it, the type that causes investors to break their breath and really release it. You know how it feels when everything has been in complete chaos, and then for the first time in a long time, there's a little amount of calm. That's how I feel today. The market's ongoing fear is gradually subsiding, allowing consumers to take a step back, consider the wider picture, and plan their next course of action without feeling overpowered. Naturally, anything may happen since it's still cryptocurrency. However, for the time being, it is a unique opportunity for everyone to just relax. Shiba Inu ultimately regains its footing and begins climbing again, and there is a sigh of pleasure rather than dread or panic. The problem is that this price change caused more than simply alleviation. It significantly upended the status quo. One expert even noted that Shiba Inu is on the verge of something enormous based on the charts. We're not just talking about a little rally, you know. Shiba Inu, he claims, is preparing for a huge breakthrough. The price's trajectory and the momentum it's gaining suggest that a major event is imminent. It is similar to the quiet before the storm, but in a positive sense, Shiba Inu may not just be recuperating if the charts indicate that this is the case. Perhaps it's about to blow up. Here's the problem, however. You may question what's really happening. What's causing Shiba Inu to suddenly climb? What's causing all of this excitement? Looking at the wider scene, we can see that Shiba Inu aren't the only ones making movements. Additionally, Bitcoin is exploding lately. After battling for days at the lower end of its limit, even falling to levels that alarmed some, Bitcoin suddenly took off, rising beyond 123,000. Donald Trump shocked the cryptocurrency community a few months ago. He suddenly made a huge announcement, the establishment of a US cryptocurrency reserve. This is quite significant. He clarified that this reserve is intended to support the cryptocurrency sector after what he described as years of assaults by the Biden administration in a post on Truth Social. He clarified that well-known cryptocurrencies like XRP will be part of this reserve, both Cardano and Solana. But it wasn't just that. Naturally, Bitcoin and Ethereum will also play a key role in the reserve, he said. He also made it quite apparent that he is a huge fan of Ethereum and Bitcoin. A cryptocurrency stockpile was discussed in the past, but that would have meant just preserving what the government already possessed. However, he has lately mentioned a genuine reserve, implying long-term strategic planning and active purchasing. The idea of the US creating a Bitcoin reserve has gained traction since Trump was re-elected, and that excitement contributed to Bitcoin reaching all-time highs. But in January, he signed an executive order on cryptocurrency, which caused things to sort of halt. However, this recent statement has flicked the switch once again, and the marketplace is now booming. Of course, this large Shiba Inu isn't far behind Bitcoin when it moves. The thrill, the anticipation, the boost in self-assurance, it's all contributing to Shiba Inu's ascent. Recent market movements also indicate that a significant event is imminent. Here's the deal. Shiba Inu, what say you? Well, Lucy, the head marketer for the Shiba Inu team, has an opinion. According to the Shiba Inu team, which is keeping a close eye on the situation, the US government may decide to include Shiba Inu and BONE in the digital asset reserve, together with other significant cryptocurrencies. Lucy said that Trump's statement was fantastic for the cryptocurrency industry as a whole. She hopes that this reserve would someday include Shiba Inu ecosystem coins, which would be a huge thing. It would do more than just provide credibility if it occurred. Additionally, it can raise Shiba Inu's value to a whole fresh level. The United States would actively keep and promote these cryptocurrencies, lending them more legitimacy, just like any other national asset hoard. Therefore, it might be quite significant if Shiba Inu are included to this reserve. Its price might skyrocket to almost unthinkable heights, and we're discussing about a disruptive moment. Not only would such institutional support boost demand, but it would also firmly establish Shiba Inu's position in the financial industry in a manner never seen before. We already know that Shiba Inu are not considered a security by the US government. The ecosystem has benefited greatly from it, since Shiba Inu would not be subject to the same kind of governmental scrutiny as some other cryptocurrencies. However, if the government does take the step to include Shiba Inu in its strategic reserve, it will give them a whole new level of legitimacy that might lead to even greater things, such as increased acceptance, credibility, and recognition, which could make Shiba Inu difficult to ignore. And just consider the implications for all of us if that occurs. The US government itself finds value in owning a cryptocurrency that began as a joke and has now grown to such a size. It would be enormous. Everywhere in the financial industry, from institutions to regular investors, it would draw attention. Not only may Shiba Inu experience amazing repercussions, but the whole cryptocurrency market could as well. We may be seeing a momentous change that not only creates a stir, but also fundamentally alters the future of Shiba Inu and the cryptocurrency industry as a whole, if this develops as many had hoped. However, we should appreciate this pump for what it is at the moment. Whatever comes next, Shiba Inu owners are in a good position. This is significant for everyone who currently owns Shiba Inu, according to one expert. Shiba Inu's 41 trillion tokens are now back in the green, according to on-chain statistics, which means that many investors are at last making money. All of this is a result of the recent price stability. After dramatic fluctuations, the market settles down, giving investors a chance to relax, and that's precisely what's taking place right now. But does this indicate that Shiba Inu are going to take off and grow much more? Not invariably. The price is still unable to break through a significant resistance level, and there is still some negative pressure present. This implies that we are essentially in a waiting game. Though it's not yet a full-blown rally for long-term investors, things seem positive. This latest action is undoubtedly positive, but it also demonstrates that Shiba Inu still possess strength and promise, even if the breakthrough moment hasn't yet come. All eyes are on whether the price can eventually break through the crucial level it is currently hanging at. It may get quite intriguing if it does. But how do you feel about this? Post a comment below. The day is over now. Remember to give it a big thumbs up. To see our most recent material, share it, and subscribe to the channel.